Welcome to Joy of Business Radio, hosted by Joy of Business facilitators from around the world, with special shows from Simone Milicis, the founder and creator of Joy of Business. Are you bored or dissatisfied with your work or business? Joy of Business is an invitation to a completely new way of creating. Did you know your business and job can actually be fun and joyful? If what you are currently doing isn't working for you, listen into this show full of pragmatic tools from Access Consciousness, which change everything in business, from money to finance, staff, creativity, productivity, communication, and beyond. Joy of Business Radio, weekly on OMTimes Radio.
Hello, it's Eva Ferjan here with you, and today we are going to talk about how your life is actually your core business. In our society that we live, we are usually look at the business through the outcome. How much would it generate? How much we will produce? How much we will earn? And what markets will some business open? And usually we are not aware that we are so driven by the outcome. So the most people work, they do their jobs, do their businesses just because of outcome. And we learned this everywhere. We have seen this in the world. We have seen this at schools when we needed to learn for the final grade, to learn for the exam. So we forgot that we are actually a lot of things doing just for the outcome. And many times we were also learned that in order to gain some outcome, you need to suppress yourself. You need to suppress what you want. You need to suppress your talent. You need to suppress everything of you just to gain some outcome. And so many people are doing their jobs then like on autopilot, just to get their regular salary to be paid, and they forget to take care of themselves. And now I will just talk a bit about 3 waiters at the same restaurant that are doing their jobs pretty differently. And the first waiter, he enjoys his job. He's doing it because he really enjoys, and he goes to the customers. He's having fun. He's asking them. He's sometimes playful with them. He's really doing everything to have fun with them and to make them also happy. And imagine such a waiter. Imagine sitting in such restaurant that you see that the waiter is really enjoying in his job. How is it for you? And then there is another waiter, and he's really doing his job just because of salary, just because he has just monthly salary. He's paid for his job. He's not liking his job. He's pretty bored, but he knows that he needs to have some safe job, and he's doing his job. And he comes to you, and you want to order the meal, and how do you feel by such a waiter? And then there comes the third waiter. He also has his job more or less just because it's his job. And he's not enjoying this job, but he's learned that he needs to be kind, that in order to get some tip and in order to be better to the customers. And he's really trying to be kind to all and coming to you, and you want to order this meal. And how do you feel at this waiter? Okay, so now it's like the same restaurant, and the waiter has the same job, but one is really enjoying his job, The other one is bored and is doing his job out of boredom. And the third is really doing everything to be polite and kind to the guests. So you, like a guest, probably got some, how do you feel at the first, at the second, and the third waiter. And guess who is enjoying his job the most? Like I said, the first guy is enjoying his job the most. And how is he coming home after his job? Is he coming home inspired? Probably yes. Is he next day looking forward to go to his job? Probably yes. Is he having fun then in the afternoon because he's not exhausted but coming home full of energy? Probably yes. And let's look another, the second waiter. He's doing his job just because of salary. And he's bored. It's just every day the same thing, just serving meals to the guests and to such guests and such habits, and he's really bored. And how is such bored waiter coming home after his job? Is he coming inspired? Is he having some energy for the afternoon? And the next day, when he wakes up, is he really looking forward to his job? Or just with resistance? And then the third waiter. The third waiter is really trying to be polite and kind just because of others. And maybe just because he's more, there's more possibility to gain some tip if he's kind and polite. And he's suppressing that he's not liking this job. This kindness is somehow fake, and he's really, at the end, he's exhausted. He's suppressing what's going on inside him, and how is he coming home? Probably at home he's not as polite as he's in the restaurant, yeah? Because as he was suppressing a lot, it can happen that what he was suppressing he expresses then in the afternoon at home. And how he's waking up in the morning? Is he waking up inspired, looking forward for the job? Or just, oh no, another day job? So, when I was explaining about those three waiters, what does this have to do with your life as your business? Who is taking care of them? Who is taking care of themselves on business? The first one that enjoys, he takes care. He takes care that he enjoys in his job and he's doing the job that he really likes. Maybe he's the lucky guy that got just the job that he enjoys. The second one, he's bored, and probably he's bored for years. But yeah, if you ask such a waiter, but what can you do to be more inspired in your job? What can you do to be more joyful? Many times you can get just to reply, I cannot do nothing. It's so, yeah, but others have even worse jobs. And you can get really reply, just nothing can be done, usually, yeah? And they are just like on autopilot, and he said, yeah, but maybe I'm too old to change my job, maybe there are not enough jobs in this area, or any reason. They will tell you any reason that they are just staying stuck in their job that they don't like. And the third, if you ask the third one, he's telling, okay, but yeah, it goes, but actually it's not going. He's from time to time maybe really ill, but he's not connecting this illness with his job and with his attitude to job. And he's just, yeah, it's his job. It's his job. He has a regular salary. He needs to take care of the family. But for the second two, if they say they need to take care of the family, they need to pay the bills and everything, but if they are doing their jobs just because of money and they are just suppressing themselves and the job is just making this more and more exhausted, what are they earning? They are earning just money, just monetary revenue. But what about their level of energy? Do you know that your level of energy is also some like salary? Not known as salary, but your level of energy that you get in your business, or your level of energy that you come out of your business, is also the salary. But we are not aware of this salary. We are always looking just in this world, we are used to look just how much money you earn. So, but if you're looking also how much energy you get, how much more inspired, energized, happy you are because of your work, you see that there's also another revenue stream, not just monetary. And when you're energized and full of energy and happy, you can do something else, and maybe you earn money from some other place. If you're energized, you like to do, you have way more opportunities to get another job, to get a better job. Yeah? When you're full of energy, inspired, maybe some other opportunities show up to you just because you're relaxed, you're happy. Because, the money follows joy and not the opposite. Yeah? So, in case of those three waiters, I explained this to you. It's really simplified, but it can apply on any business situation. Yeah? If you look yourself at your work, in which place are you at the moment? Are you in place of this really joyful waiter, the first one, that really enjoys in his job? Are you in place of this bored one, that is really just going and being bored there and showing to the world also that he's bored, but it's his reality? Or maybe you're not so extremely bored, but you are going just to do your job and that's it. Or are you maybe on the position of the third, that you're really trying to be polite for others, trying to be kind for others, but not taking care of you, that you really feel good in what you are doing? In which position you are? Okay. So, because in any position, in any situation you have choice. In any situation you have choice, and your choice is how you approach to your job. This is the first choice. How you approach to your job. Okay, after the break we are going to talk about this, how you approach to your job.
No one needs to have a money problem, especially you.
Yeah, did you hear that? You have an unlimited and mostly unaccessed capacity to create money and a financial reality that works for you. Simone Milasas has a brand new book. It's called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. And right now, when you go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com, if you pre-order the book, you'll get a free online course. What if you can create money in ways no one else can? Just go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com to get your copy today.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The cutting edge of conscious radio, OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
Hello. So we are continuing with our talk about how your life is your business. So before we were talking about those three waiters, and maybe through the story of those three waiters, you can see what contribution to you, to your life, you are if you are doing the work in which you are really enjoying. So if you're doing the work that you're really enjoying in, you're inspired. You're full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of joy. And everything else in your life is then easier because you get energized in your job. And what contribution to all around you are when you're doing your job with joy, when you're enjoying in your job. What contribution to all around you are. So also, in the case of those three waiters, you can see that probably that the waiter that's really enjoying his job is the biggest contribution to all of the guests in the restaurant. And the waiter that comes bored is not as much as contribution. And especially the waiter that's trying to be polite for them, but they see that it's really not pristine, that it's really not real kindness and politeness, but it's just fake. He's also not such a contribution to guests, yeah. So you're the biggest contribution to you and to the world and to all around when you're really joyful at your job. And how many people are truly joyful at your job? And yeah, I ask you in which position you are at the moment. Are you joyful at your job? Are you enjoying your job you're doing? Or are you doing just because you have some stable job? You have some safe job, some safe salary, yeah? And in any position you are, you can start to make your job more joyful. Maybe you can just ask yourself when you're like this first waiter. He just gave up. That's his job and that's it, yeah? But you can ask yourself, for example, what can I do today to create more playfulness in this situation right away? You can ask for playfulness. You can ask, or maybe, what can I do today to make more joy in this situation right away? Or what can I do today to have more fun in this situation right away? Just ask. Because when you ask, and just wait for some awareness, something will show up. Something will show up for you. And then you can choose. Maybe you can do just some tiny step. And when you just see your job as really boring, as really not interesting, you can go also, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that this job is so boring. And say again, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that this job is so boring. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I cannot do anything in this situation. Interesting point of view I have this point of view that those guests are so boring. This interesting point of view, I have this point of view that I have no choice here. Yeah? And when you are going into this interesting point of view, you're just clearing some stuckness. And something will show up. And just be present. What shows up? What you can do. Because when you're taking care of your well-being at the job, you're the biggest contribution. And you can start with just small steps. You can start just maybe with make a coffee to someone else. Or just say something kind to others. Or maybe just put smile on your face. Anything, yeah? And yeah, when you feel really suppressed, when you feel really that this job is not working for you anymore, you cannot do anything, it's time to take time for you, to take care for you, to do anything that inspires you, that makes you happy. Just maybe you can go on a vacation. You can do, or if you don't have time, just in the afternoon, take care that you do something every day, that you do something that really inspires you, that makes you happy. Because when you come into this space that you are joyful, that you're happy, you're way, way, way more open to the awareness. What else can you do? Yeah? Because from the state when you're happy, when you're joyful, you get awareness. What else can you do? When you're just all the time just suppressed, unhappy, bored, you're just cutting yourself out of awareness. And maybe, and yeah, I have like really experience when I was just doing part-time work just when I was a student. And I was working really many different jobs. And once I had a really job in some office, it was not some job that was inspiring me. I was doing on this job really something to make the job playful, just playing sometimes, but still it was not something that was inspiring me. And one day I really remember it was very sunny day and I had opportunity to go to work in that office and to earn, of course, some money. But that time I just chose to go out and to run, to go home and to go running because it was so sunny day. And I went to run into the forest. It was really nice sunny day. I was grateful that finally I chose for me, yeah. And so grateful, so having really time for me running in the forest. It happened that I found banknote. And it was money. It was more money that I would earn in that afternoon if I worked that afternoon. Yeah. And it was really, for me, a message from the universe, yes, take time for you. Take time for you. It's worth to take time for you. And maybe another thing that I can share. Once I have my own business. And sometimes it's easier for me. I enjoy really, I'm really in the flow. But there comes also some period that I'm not enjoying so much. The things are not going. I need to make some proposal, for example, and I'm typing and erasing, and really I know that it's really not a good state for me. I have my own business that I enjoy, but sometimes I go to this place. And once I remember it was such days, and I said, no way, I'm not working like this anymore. And I took time for me. I took a time to go kayaking. And I went then that time for 5 days kayaking. I really, really, really enjoyed this kayaking. Really enjoyed, had fun those 5 days. It was just summertime, just holiday time. So I could afford to take those 5 days. And just the last day of kayaking, my phone rang and it called me a lady from one company. She knew me from 2 years before, and she ordered to me program for few their groups. Just a team building program for few groups she ordered just after 5 days of kayaking. And I didn't contact her, even not before. We have met last time 2 years before that. So nothing, I did nothing in this way, but just took care for me, took care to be happy, to be inspired, and really in this state, she just called me. Yeah, I just invited this to come, invited this to receive. Yeah. So it's just 2 times I got such huge message from the universe. Yes, it's really worth to take time for you, to take time for your well-being, because when you take time for your well-being, you're way more open to receiving. And it happens, something completely unexpected can happen. Yeah. When I went to this run, I never expected that I will earn money, that I will get money in the forest. Yeah. And when I went kayaking, I did it just for me. I didn't do it just, okay, if I will go kayaking, then maybe some client will call me. No, I just took time for me, I took care for me, and yeah, it was like a, gift, and I got this business. And how much more you're attractive to businesses and to all people around if you're playful, if you're joyful, if you take time for you. And how much you're allowing that you're suppressing yourself because of business. So many times in our society we're suppressing ourselves in case of business. And now, when you know, what can you do to make your day, your life happier, healthier? And maybe I can share also something else what happened. When you're not attached to the outcome. When something happens, some situations happen. And like I was really looking forward to some business. It was supposed to be good business, like one day event, but like good business. But just a few days before it was cancelled. Yeah? Okay, it's break time, so I will continue with this after break.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Tune in to the Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World with me, host Robin Fritz, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. I'll cover personal and business intuition, animal communication, mediumship, space clearing, past life regression, shamanic insights, energy healing, soul choice, and more, all to help you tap your own intuitive and healing skills. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Putting the fun back in business. Wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed, repeat. Business, work, your job, hate it, bored, want to leave it? Or business, work, your job, fun, play, joy, fun. Which would you like to choose? You may not know this, but business, your job, work can actually be fun. Check up your business routine. Check out my 3-part free video series on putting the fun back in business. Go to accessjoybusiness.com/fun and put the fun back in business.
connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Yes, so now we continue. Just before the break, I was talking about the situation where it's not. I just lost the everything. Just before the break, I was talking about not being attached to the outcome and how I had once business that was supposed to be in one day, some event, and it was cancelled. Yeah. And if I went that time to the, what a pity, it's really pity, and I was just making myself smaller, so it happened. I just was there, okay, how can I use this situation into my advantage? Yeah? And in any situation that happens that seems like it's something going wrong, something is not okay, some business is cancelled, you can go down and you can be sorry for this, and you can be sad, you can be depressed, or you can say, yeah, how can I use this situation into advantage? Yeah. And I just was asking that day, what can I do today then that I will make this day joyful for me? And I went to some meeting. It was sports meeting, really. It was kayaking meeting actually, because I really like kayaking. And I was talking there with manager of some company, just having some talks, some conversation, yeah. And in conversation, he was asking me about what I'm doing, how I'm doing. He began to be very interested in what I'm doing. Yeah, and at the end, it happened that we set really long-term cooperation, and we are still cooperating. We have still business together now. Yeah. We have and it was just because one event that I was really looking forward, one business event was cancelled, and I went to some other meeting. Yeah. And if I went that time to some sadness and being really sorry for that, and staying at home just sad because it happened that business was cancelled, I would not create this situation. And if I had that business, one day event that I was so looking forward, I would probably not meet this man that we set long-term cooperation. So in any situation that it looks like at some moment, in any situation that looks like that it's something wrong, that is something not going like it's supposed to be, you can go into sadness. Yeah, that's your choice. Or you can ask yourself, okay, what's right about this that I'm not knowing? What's right about this situation that I'm not knowing? Because maybe something way bigger is waiting for you, and that's why this situation was cancelled. Yeah? And you don't know. And if you go to the sadness, you cut yourself from awareness, and you cut yourself from receiving something bigger. So this was my situation. For example, when this event was cancelled, and I just because it was cancelled, I met this man, and we set long-term cooperation. Yeah. So it was really right about this situation that it was cancelled. But on short term, it was like looking that something is not going as it's supposed to be. So in any situation that it looks like that it's not going right, just ask yourself, what's right about this that I'm not getting? Because any situation can be really something really good for long term. Yeah? And if we are looking just short term, if we are looking just for short term outcome, if we are attached to short term outcome, we can really quickly be sad and depressed, and we cut ourselves of receiving. And if you are just asking and being just aware, okay, this happened, but what's right about this? What bigger gift is this situation bringing to me that I'm not aware of? And with those questions, you allow yourself to step into something bigger, to receive something bigger, to receive that something bigger comes to you. You cut yourself when you are going into judgment of some situation, when you are going in, that you judge the situation that it was supposed to go so, but it happened that it went wrong. You just stop the creation, yeah. But when you allow the creation to happen, yeah, this looks like it's wrong, but something bigger is waiting for me. You allow this bigger to come to you, yeah. So anything that happens in your job, if you're allowing it to happen and not blaming and judging it, you can get way bigger gift out of it. But when you go into judgment, into blame, you're just going down. So, and maybe also in situation, for example, with coworkers, when you go into or situation with coworkers, or in situation with or in some other situation, when you go to judgment of something, you're just cutting yourself of receiving anything. Because until you judge situation, until you judge coworker, until you judge boss, until you judge your job, you're just cutting yourself from receiving out of it. So instead of judging the situation, maybe instead of judging coworker, instead of judging boss, instead of judging your job, you can again use really this simple tool. Just interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And for example, for your boss, you can say, interesting point of view, I have this point of view about my boss. And you say what you have, this point of view. Or about your coworker, interesting point of view, I have this point of view about him. Yeah? And you release this energy with him, and then it just happens that maybe something in the relationship with boss, with coworker, or with your job, it just softens something, and something begins to move. And maybe you can make just this your job that you at the moment are not liking so much. This job is becoming better for you. This workplace is becoming better for you just because you did. And many times when I get people on coaching, they are blaming the boss that he's not allowing him this and this and this and this, or they are blaming coworkers, and they are making just them responsible for their unhappiness. And so if they are making them responsible for their unhappiness, where's then their power? Nowhere, yeah, because they are giving all their power into hands of others that are doing something to them. So in any situation, you can ask, what can I do, or what can I be here in this situation to make this situation work for me? So in any situation you can ask yourself, what can I do here to make this situation work for me? For example, you can ask this about your boss, you can ask this about your coworkers, you can ask this about your clients, you can ask this just about your job that you're working. What can I do here to make this situation work for me? What can I be or do here to make this situation work for me? And yeah, what I told earlier, yeah, don't be attached to the just short-term outcome, because usually we are used to look really things just on short term. If we plan to do something, yeah, and it's not going like it's supposed to be, we see, something went wrong. But maybe just this that went wrong is bringing you something way bigger. So remember, any time that it happens, that something goes wrong, just go into the question, what's right about this situation I'm not getting at the moment. Yeah, it's like walking to some really mountain that we see, to the top of the mountain that we see really far away. We see just this mountain, but we don't see how many other peaks and how many other valleys are on the way to this mountain. We see just usually just this top, yeah. And yeah, when you know that if you are choosing to go somewhere far, and there are some tops, there are some valleys, you know that also going into valley is okay for you, yeah, and going to another top is okay for you, yeah. Just if you know that there is somewhere far you want to go. So, and what is that you would like to create in your job? What is that you would like to really create in your business? What is it that you would like to create in your life? Do you know what you would like to create in your life and business? Or are you just going into autopilot and just going to job for every day from morning to evening? How is your job? And also, if you have your own job, how is this job working for you? Do you enjoy your job, or would you like to make it way more joyful and way more fun for you? What can you do to make this job work for you?
What do you hate about business? And do you want to change it? If you don't want to change anything about your job or business, stop listening. You're all good. If you'd like to have money just for the fun of it and stop the negative self-talk, check out Joy of Business. This is about knowing what you know about business and creating more than you can imagine. Access Joy of Business 101 classes offered around the world. Go to accessjoyofbusiness.com/101.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living, a chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me, and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello. So we are continuing our conversation about how your life is your business. And we were talking what contribution to you and to all others and to the world you are when you are doing your business, your job from the state of joy. And anything that you are doing from the state of joy, your contribution to the world. Yeah. And the things where you are doing, where you're doing something just because of the outcome or just because of others, or you're suppressing yourself. And when you're suppressing yourself, what contribution to yourself you are if you're suppressing yourself just because of money or because of other outer outcome. And if you're suppressing yourself, what contribution to all others and to the world you are if you're suppressing yourself and if you're at the end exhausted? What contribution to the family you are if you're suppressing yourself, if you're doing your job just because of salary? Huh? And now just think about how is your situation with your job, with your current job. No matter if you're employee somewhere, if you're a manager somewhere, if you have your own job. What's your situation in your workplace? And just ask yourself, what can I do here to make this situation work better for me? Maybe you can do some steps on your workplace, of your actual workplace. Maybe you can just ask yourself way more times, what can I do in this situation to make this situation more playful for me? And you can just release some stucknesses. You can release fixed points of view you have about your job, about your co-workers, about your boss, or you can begin to search for something else. But if you're searching for something else from the position of really being bored and being exhausted, do you think that you will attract some really good job? Or is it start with yourself? That you start asking yourself, what can I do to make myself joyful every day? Because when you are taking care of you, when you're truly taking care of you, so on job and so on any other situation, you're inviting money, you're inviting good and better situation into your life. Yeah? So just with the question, what can I do to make my life more joyful? What can I do to make this situation more joyful and playful for me? And yeah, what I said before, not being attached to the outcome. Sometimes it's some job cancelled. Sometimes it's something not going as it is supposed to be. But that's because something bigger is coming to you. And yeah, so don't cut what bigger is coming to you, but just be in the question, what bigger is coming to me? Yeah? And when you're not in the job that you're really enjoying, you can start just asking yourself, what would I really like to do? Where would I really enjoy? Yeah? Because just with this question, you can move something. Until you're in this conclusion that the situation is not working for you and that you cannot do anything because you have kids, because you need to earn a salary, because you need to pay the bills, you're in conclusion and you cannot do anything. But when you begin to ask yourself questions like, what would I really like to do? Where would I really like to enjoy? On which job would I really like to enjoy? And when you begin to discover, yeah, you're stepping into unknown, into something bigger and greater that is waiting for you. But just, it's your choice to begin to search for this and to ask for this. Because maybe you can start just like something part-time job or few hours a day just to get the feeling how it is. And maybe just this stepping into the unknown and doing some steps. Sometimes we don't know whether to choose this or to choose another thing. And you can ask yourself when you have few situations to try or few other jobs to get, and you don't know. It seems like for some other job, it seems that it's okay, but for another maybe not so. And you can ask yourself, if I choose this job, what's my life going to be in next 5 years from now? And you can ask for another job, if I choose this job, what's my life going to be in next 5 years from now? and you can sense the energy. Is it more expansion or is it contraction? Because maybe sometimes rationally some jobs looks really, yes, it's really just choose this job. But when you are asking for the awareness and it shows, no, this is really not going, then just check for another solution. Just check for this that is showing you the most expansion. So maybe sometimes some job really is not looking so good than another one. But if you ask yourself, if I choose this, what will my life be in next 5 years from now? And if it shows you expansion, that's the way it would be fine for you to go to that way, because it shows you that's leading you towards expansion. And yeah, just be present and ask yourself. And maybe you can ask yourself, what's my life going to be if I stay in this job for next 5 years? Or what's my life going to be if I stay for another year in this job? Or what's my life going to be next 5 years? Huh? And you can see the energy that's coming out. And still, if you just see the energy, you have choice. You can choose whether to change it, whether to look for something different, or whether to do that you change something. Maybe you need to get rid of some fixed points of view that you have about your job. Or maybe you have to release some judgment you have about your job, your business, your coworkers, and just, look for the joy in any situation. Look for your ease, your joy, and your playfulness in any situation, because that's what energizes you. Yeah? That's what your life is, your business. It was today's topic. Your life is your business. In any situation, you have the power to choose, to create it, to work for you. So in any situation, you can ask yourself, what can I do in this situation that would work better for me? Because if you take care of your life, that you are energized, that you have a lot of energy, that you are inspired, that you are happy, it is better for your health, it's better for your relationships around, it's better for your well-being and for everything. And when you're happy and money comes then as a side effect, what else is possible then? Yeah? And that's really, your life is your business, because it's like taking care of you, taking care for your well-being, for your happiness, for your joy is your business. Because this is making you what works for you. This is making your life. And from this you can also earn some money with way, way, way more ease than with suppressing yourself. Are you ready to do some steps further to create your life as your core business? And are you ready to do some steps further to gain way, way, way more joy in your business and in your life? Is it worth? Or will you just be waiting for others to change some situation that will work for you? It's your choice. Yeah? So, and if you're ready, you can also join us on some Joy of Business class. For example, Access Business and Money, or Business Done Different 3-day masterclass. My 3-day masterclass, I think, next is in Japan in April 23rd to 25th. And you can check for more on accessjoyofbusiness.com website. You can check for more classes that are upcoming. And those are really not classes that you are just listening, like you are listening to me now, but you're really, really diving deep into your patterns, into your thinking about things, you're clearing all the limitations, obstacles, everything that is holding you back, and you're making space for something new in your work to come out, to show up. Yeah, you're making space for something new in your life to show up. Yeah, are you ready for something like this? Yeah. And yeah, just for the end, I will just say, just in any situation in your life you have the power to choose to create it to work for you. Just know, ask yourself, what